Okay, let's get this started. I have with me today somebody that I've met before that I've been very impressed with, and I'm really happy to have him with us today and have the audience appreciate the beautiful mind that Jeff Glover has. Let's get this started.
Thank you. There we go. Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
High five you, Jeff. High five you. So, Jeff, I want to put my phone on vibrate because you're so important. I have a question. I know you, Jeff. I saw you come out of the TL position. You had a coaching program. That's how I got to hear about you. You came to Orange County, to the Disney area.
Yeah.
And actually, it was quite a spectacular show. I mean, there's going to be a couple hundred agents showed up to that event. This is 3 years ago, Jeff.
Yeah.
At least. And I remember looking at you and I thought, man, this guy's bloody young. and at that time, you had just come out of your TL position. And I want to go before that, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us how you became an agent.
Yeah.
And then how you got introduced to the TL position, because I've been there. And you drop salary, you drop your book of business. I mean, it's a big transition. Well, what did that look like, Jeff?
Yeah. So I got into the business since 2003, believe it or not, 18 years ago. In Michigan, you can get licensed when you're 9. So that's how that works. No, I'm kidding. Got into the business in 2003 and had some pretty good success as a salesperson my first 18 months in the business. In my first 18 months, closed around 45, 50 homes. And from there was thinking that, I was 18, 19 years old. So obviously 35 homes my first year. And then about halfway through the second year, I was at about 15 closed when I made the decision to get into leadership. And I did that, number one, because I was young and didn't know any better. But on the other hand, I was young and didn't know any better. And that's when I was like, you know what? If I want to run businesses one day, if I want to have a business, I need to learn how to recruit, how to train, how to retain, how to manage, how to motivate. And so I was going to school. I was in college and selling real estate. So college was part-time. Real estate was my full-time gig. I was going to school and I decided, you know what? I'm going to school for business. I might as well take business courses at the college and try to accelerate this process. So after my 18 months in the business, I approached brokers in our town and said, hey, I know I'm young. I know I've only been doing this for 18 months, but give me one of your failing offices. I want to learn how to manage. I want to learn how to train. I want to learn how to recruit. I want to learn how to retain. And so my current broker at the time wasn't willing to take a chance on me, unfortunately. So I had to go find another broker, and it was a competing broker. They were both neck and neck they both had 500-600 agents and 12, 15 offices in Metro Detroit. So I went and worked for the competing broker, and they gave me their most failing office. I mean, it was a pit. The previous leader left and started his own firm and took everyone with them, and I had to build it up. What's that?
You had a mutiny in your hands.
Yeah. I basically, and the only people that were left were the ones that the guy didn't want. The previous guy didn't want. So I built that back up. It was the fastest growing office in the chain. They had like 15, 13, 14 offices somewhere in there. Fastest growing office 2 years in a row. And then I decided to take it to the next level. They gave me an opportunity to do all the training and all the recruiting for all of their offices. And so I would train the managers on how to recruit and train and retain and essentially run a successful office. And then I got back into sales and started what is known today as Jeff Glover and Associates.
Which I have, and I'm actually going to bring up in a few minutes here, Jeff. But so you kind of hit the 3 points there. You got to recruit a good team, or you got to recruit agents. You got to drive production, which you know how to drive production because you did very well in your first year, and then retention. But Jeff, here's the big question: you're young, you're a fledgling rock star. You're still in school. Are your parents rocket scientists, or are you? How do you get that chutzpah? How do you get that energy or that mindset to want to be a leader, to not just be a for sale person? Because a lot of us, we like the for sale because we make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of us fail. Like myself, I failed many times because I didn't understand business.
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
logistics of business?
Very simple. So when I was in high school, I worked for Circuit City. I was the number one salesperson in the state of Michigan. I was number 143 in the entire country. And they had a great sales training program. Circuit City is no longer around, of course. They had a great training program. And when I got to real estate, I felt bad, honestly. I could not believe that the training in real estate office was as weak as I experienced.
Right.
So it was at that point, it was kind of my mission, like, wow, I'm going to take, now again, keep in mind, I'm 18, 19 years old. So I think I got it all figured out. But to some degree, I was kind of right. The training is weak in this industry, and I felt bad. And I said, you know what? It's my mission to expose as many people as I can to strong sales training.
Wow.
And that's what I've been doing ever since.
There's almost like Gary Keller. Gary Keller, that's how that's part of his retention as well. But he groomed his agents for excellence. And that's Malachi Keller Williams today. Now for you, Jeff, I mean, are your parents very driven? Did they endorse or support you a lot in sports or your education? I mean, because they came from somewhere. That's part of your DNA. Is that your dad or your mother?
Not really. We grew up kind of middle class, and then my parents got divorced, and when my parents got divorced, I lived in a very wealthy community, but we lived in a trailer park, so it was kind of like an oxymoron. I was the broke kid in a high school where everyone was wealthy. Everyone was getting $500 to $1,000 for their clothes, and I was getting $50 to $100. So, those were the days when Abercrombie and Fitch started coming around, and as you can imagine, $50 to $100 there doesn't go very far. So, I just knew that if I wanted to keep up with the Joneses, if you will, I had to go make it on my own, and that's why I started selling for Circuit City while I was in high school.
Jeff, so your mother brought you up in the last part of your childhood? Was it your mother, or you were living with your dad?
I moved in with my dad for high school. Yeah.
Wow, Jeff. So I mean, that's hard on you, because here you are. Look at you today. I'm sure your dad's very impressed and proud of you today. But was it not having that drove you to have more, or was it that kind of that stigma of this environment and surrounded by, which I think is very healthy for you? I'm glad your dad did that much at least.
Exactly. Getting me into a good school system, getting me into a good community. Yeah. It was really to avoid, quite honestly, I hate to say it, initially it was to avoid getting picked on. I didn't want to be the broke kid. So it was very motivating to say, you know what, so I did high school football practice until 6 o'clock, and then I'd go sell for Circuit City from say 6:30 to 9, and wake up at 5 a.m. the next day and do it all over again.
Yeah, because I know I was big into swimming in South Africa, Jeff. So we'd have to wake up really early. The water was super cold. So and I didn't want to, but South Africa is either sports or academics, and I really wasn't the most smartest kid in the class. Even though I had high IQ, I really kind of messed around more than did anything productive. And I would be outside playing sports, so that kind of was my escape. So Jeff, was it money that drove you, or was it the clothes? Were you thinking long term at that age, because that is young, and you really think of leadership positions, you really look at changing a market or dominating or making some kind of disruption?
Well, once I got going, once I had some early success in the real estate business, I was very grateful for my experiences in retail, and I felt like that strong of training was missing from the industry. There really isn't sales training. Brokerages, most of them, as you know, here's a desk, here's a phone, or here's some videos. Good luck. And I really felt like there was an opportunity to make at least a difference with the people that I could come in contact with. And then once we built our sales team to what it is today, what we're doing became super desirable. So we said, you know what, I don't have any interest in, being the next Coldwell Banker or the next Keller Williams or the next Remax, but I do have an interest in impacting every single real estate agent in the world through sales training. And that's the path I decided to go down.
Yeah, well done, Jeff. I'm just going to take a say now, if you don't mind. I'm going to share my screen with the audience. Jeff, how many people are in your team overall? Total, body count, if I can say that.
So there are. So I have several brokerages. So total in the brokerages.
This is Jeff's business, ladies and gentlemen. Good God, Jeff. Goodness me. I mean, you're still young though, right? Are you hitting 40 or you're in your 40s, Jeff?
36. 36.
If that's embarrassing. So guys, look at Jeff, look at Jeff's portfolio, if you can call it that. He's got his professionals, which is his Keller Williams team and his A office. But this is him and that's your right, absolutely. Yeah. I love this Glover's Heroes. I love that. Okay, I looked into that. Glover's Group Property Management, amazing, well done. This, I mean, Jeff, that in itself is a package you can sell by itself as a property management.
Oh yeah.
Continue closing. Is this your escrow?
So that's actually a closing gift company. So when you have closings, sending gifts out to clients. Long story, it was a mom and pop shop, and we just decided to buy it.
Well, that's brilliant. Thank you, Jeff. And then the Great Lakes is this another market center or?
Yeah, so there's 3 market centers: KW Professionals, KW Great Lakes, and KW Kalamazoo.
Yes, excellent. Fantastic.
Titleosity is the title in escrow.
Oh, beautiful. And this I'm very familiar with, Jeff, because I've seen you push this a lot. And this is, by the way, Jeff isn't paying me to endorse the same. I'm just a fan of Jeff Glover, and I've seen him in person, and I've seen tons of videos about you, Jeff, which I'm going to share with the audience. But sure. It's the purpose that Jeff has. It's the drive that he has. It's the velocity that I'm really impressed by. So Legends is all about discovering what makes our heroes tick. Jeff's one of them. And Jeff, you're on a journey, man. You came not from the slums, but you kind of came from 8 Mile. You came from
8 Mile. There you go, 8 Mile. Yes. Eminem and I grew up in the same trailer park.
Yeah, absolutely. You didn't have the lyrics or the rhymes, but you definitely had the build and you had the mindset. What is it you point? You click praise.
That's actually an iBuyer. So that's an iBuyer that we launched in Michigan, and we're having some success with it in Michigan. And as soon as we can prove that it's successful in Michigan, we're going to apply for some pretty serious size loans and take it nationwide. Jeff,
shocking, but when you come to Orange County, please, who my CEO and team is Tony Fletcher. Yep. He knows who I am. Please reach out to him. I would love to chat to you about that because I'm in the iBuy program right now. It's what I do all day long, 6 hours a day. Yep. Through Tony's program, and he's got through our office, but we can talk about that. Spotlight. Yeah. What's Spotlight?
Spotlight. That's Spotlight Staging. That's a staging company that I invested in. They needed some cash to build their inventory, and that's a staging company.
So, Jeff, what I love? I'm a big fan of Marcus. The Prophet.
Yeah.
So he's like you. I mean, he owns campground, Camping World.
Yeah.
And now he has all these other affiliates that they're independent, right? And they have their own book of business. However, he leverages them. He uses them to make branding for him, marketing, events. I mean, you kind of remind me of Marcus, by the way, just to kind of throw that out there.
He's a good guy.
Move My Shelter. Go into this, please.
Yeah. So Improve My Shelter is something that we came up with because of Shelter in Place. We didn't want to be the realtors. Everyone was talking about making care calls and, soft touches for follow-up after. We wanted to be able to provide value to consumers while they were in Shelter in Place, whether they were planning on moving or not. It had nothing to do, no catch, no obligation, whether they were selling their home or not. We wanted to live walk them through their house and give them suggestions of things they can do to improve their home's value so that maybe one day when they do go to move, they'd remember us.
So, Jeff, does this also give them like a price point? If you want to add a backsplash, you're looking at this.
All of our agents are basically armed with a document that has the percentage of increase on every improvement. So a seller could say, hey, we were planning on doing X, Y, and Z. We asked them a few questions about how much they plan on investing, and we could tell them what type of return they would get on that.
Jeff, honestly, that's spectacular. I know a lot about this. Here's the most amazing thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I know what Jeff is doing. Here's the big caveat. Jeff is actually doing it. Jeff owns all of this. He owns the brand. There's affiliate relationships here. There's leadership here. There's the live Unreal. I mean, look at your team over there. There's Jeff, of course, the founder. I'm a big fan of Taylor. she is super prompt. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
within seconds of sending an email, I'm getting a response like, "How did that happen?"
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Live Unreal companies is like the umbrella, the parent company, and
okay,
that's our leadership team down there. Of the different organizations.
Jeff, you still look young, buddy, but that's just me. I'm in my 40s, and I'm just looking at you because I don't want to be Jeff Glover, but I want to be like you. Not but, and I want to be like you, Jeff, because that's why I joined Keller Williams. Was I can sell, Jeff. I'm a for sale person. That's my
Me
gift.
too. Hey,
And,
by the way, that's my number one job title. I sell homes first and foremost,
right,
so that when people come to our events or when people follow us at Glover U, they know we're credible because I'm on the ground doing it.
absolutely. No, exactly. You're on the front lines, Jeff. You really are. And so then when I was asked to come to leadership at Keller Williams, I took the chance. It hurt me. Financially, it hurt me big time, Jeff. But I learned so much. It was a vertical growth, and it was so amazing, Jeff. When I didn't believe. And by the way, no insult at all when I say this, Jeff. I did not believe in coaching. I thought,
Yeah.
listen, my talent sells, my character sells. I can sell
Yeah.
home. I'm in the
Sure.
luxury in Orange County. I'm living in Newport Beach. I can do this. Anybody can do this.
Yep.
And for years, I did not have a coach. Getting into leadership, I had to have a coach.
Yep.
So uh, 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 Tony gave me the same coach as him. So I was able to sit with Tony in the same coach. And our coach at that time was Mike Bastian.
Okay.
Let
Yep.
me tell you what, Jeff. Within a month, 30 days, I saw such a vast difference in my mindset, in my actions, in my activities, in my scheduling. I mean, Jeff, I can go up and up the scale.
Yeah.
Now I'm an avid coach. I'm all about coaching. To me, mentorship, it's just a no-brainer. And I'm not too sure what the block was, Jeff, but it did have something on me, and shame on me, but you learn, you know what I mean, Jeff? And I had to grow up a little bit. I had a little bit of elementary side to me,
Yeah.
and now I'm all about it. And that's why I have our TLs and our COs as well. Jeff, you've done so much in a very short period of time. I mean, 8 years is not a lot because of what you have. And you remind me, you're in those ranks of the Cody Gibsons, the Ben Kinneys. You know, you're kind of creating your own wave. You're an extension of the ocean, this big, huge tidal wave with avalanche. You're still young. Can you share with us what's next, Jeff? Or is that kind of IP, intellectual property, or is there
So, the biggest things we're working on, we really want to reinvent training and coaching for the real estate industry. And we believe that we will be the largest training and coaching organization in the country one day. So that's a huge focus. Not almost always, every day we're looking at how we can get better, how we can improve. We've got a lot of momentum with that, and that's Glover U. And the other thing that's a high priority right now is UPraise, the iBuyer. We're putting a lot of energy and effort into that, and making sure that we can prove the success with that here locally, so that way we can go out and raise capital and take it outside of the state.
Yeah, Jeff, I don't think this is not rocket science for you. Jeff, it's almost like you're following in the DNA of what most big companies have done, like Circus City. Listen, I know times have changed. But what I'm saying, Circus City, then you join Keller Williams, which you know is it's all about training. I mean, for 6 months, that's all I did was from contact class to negotiating class to buyer class to selling class to presentation class. And again, it all adds value, right? Which elevates your skill process. Then when you get to leadership, I also believe that's why Keller Williams became the biggest company, within a short period of 5 to 10 years.
They develop leaders.
Exactly. Thank you. There you go, Jeff. Yeah. Jeff, you are phenomenal. You're a remarkable human being. Thank you for your special time.
Of course. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, Jeff, you're amazing. And I'll share this with you. Jeff, I want you to leave us with something that we need right now. We're in a very turbulent time.
Yeah.
Yet there's opportunity. I'm at the office. Jeff. I'm in the office. I put my first offer in today. But the real people are in a turbulent time. And I'm talking about the real estate community. I'm talking everything from escrow to title to that whole world, which drives our economy, by the way. And I know you know this.
Yep.
Do you have any last words of encouragement that you can give us, Jeff?
Well, at the end of the day, when I first heard of the pandemic and everything taking place, my mindset, and somebody asked me this early on, what is your mindset going to be through all this? My mentality was, this is my time to shine, because no matter what happens, okay, and I don't mean that insensitive, meaning like I'm taking advantage of sickness or whatever. What I mean by that is there's always more people that sit on the sidelines because of fear than actually go and get into the game. So already there's more people on the sidelines. Now you add a pandemic into the mix, even more people sit on the sidelines, which in my mind gives me a great opportunity to show what we're all about and who we are and why people should consider working with us.
Oh my gosh, Jeff! Honestly, I couldn't say it better, because that's exactly what I did. I always wanted to start a YouTube channel. I started it.
Yep.
And for the past 60 days, I've been driving that. And also, Jeff, what I'm really doing is I'm just endorsing your support, because I love what you said. And also, I learned the iBuy program. So I'm at home, Jeff. I've got my laptop in front of me, and now I'm in the office putting in offers.
Yep.
6 days ago, Jeff, I wasn't even. I'd heard about the iBuy program. I knew about it, but now it's gentlemen like yourself and Tony that's introducing it to us, our leaders that influence us.
Yep.
I'm doing. I mean, literally, Jeff, I mean, in all fairness, what you said was very, very fair and very civil, because a lot of us, we get fearful.
Yep.
We hide, we run for the hills. When in times like this, you almost have to run for the avalanche, right?
Go at it. Absolutely. Go right towards it. Well, everyone's running away from it. Go right at it. You're gonna come out ahead. I promise you will. When is this gonna air, Kevin?
Tomorrow afternoon, 3:00. So that's Los Angeles time. So for you to be 6.
Okay. So Tuesday. So then I probably should tell you, Wednesday I'm doing a session, 11:30. It's the very last session of Relead. I don't know if you've chimed into any of those, but I'm doing a session of 12 action items you can implement for the third quarter. It's totally free. So if anyone wants to sign up and join us for that, they can go to gloveru.com/Relead, RELEAD. That's Wednesday at 11:30 Eastern. So what is that, 8:30 your time?
Yes. You know what I'll do, Jeff, is share the link with me. I'll put in the description box below, and I'll put all of our Market Center pages as well, so they all have it.
Yeah, that's Wednesday, and it's very relevant. It is the exact, so you know, Kevin, it is the exact same plan that I shared with our team that we're taking action on in the third quarter.
And that you're closing like around about 1,000 homes a year. That's what Jeff.
Just under 1,000 homes a year we do.
Remarkable. I can't wait, Jeff. Thank you very much for your time. You're awesome.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, Jeff.
All right. Yep. We'll see you guys.
Cheers.
All right. Bye.